Welcome to the first learning video in this module on textile economies in the Alps. In this video, we will explore aspects of circular economy and sustainability within the textile industry in the European Alps, focusing on their geographical context. Our research approach combines abstract mappings and geographic maps with short comments to provide knowledge about the textile sector in the Alpine regions from an economic perspective. On the one hand, abstract mappings focus on value chains and economic flows, and on the other hand, geographic maps visualize data in a more specific spatial context. In this case, the macro region of the European Alps. Both are presented as reports with condensed comments and solid background information. You can find them either here in this MOOC module or on the AlpTextyles homepage. Let's begin by examining some key statistics to gain an understanding of the global textile sector. According to the Textile Exchange platform, approximately 113 million tons of fibers were produced globally in 2021. Of this total, synthetic fibers dominate production, accounting for 64%, with polyester making up more than half of that figure. Plant fibers come next, representing 28% of total production, while man-made cellulosic fibers accounting for 6.4%. Animal fibers represented only 1.6% of total production, with wool remaining a niche fiber that contributes less than 1%. Nevertheless, the Alpine region has a rich cultural heritage linked to natural fibers. Today, wool from sheep remains the most prominent natural fiber in the European Alps, resonating strongly with consumers. There is a widespread association between these natural fibers, the animals they come from, and the concept of the untouched, rugged Alpine wilderness. For more information on this topic, please refer to Module 2, which focuses on the living textile heritage of the Alps. Now let's get a little more into detail. This overview illustrates the composition of fiber types and their respective shares, as well as the proportion of recycled materials. Most fibers produced globally are fossil-based and conventionally sourced, with recycled pre- or post-consumer waste accounting for less than 1% of the total. However, recycling rates vary among different fiber types. For instance, polyester fibers contain 15% recycled material, primarily sourced from recycled bottles, while most other fibers have recycled content ranging from 0% to 6%. When it comes to animal fibers, wool exhibits the highest recyclability. Additionally, the certification percentages for animal fibers differ significantly, with only 5% of down fibers being certified compared to 35% for mohair. Finally, to close the global view, let's explore the consumer perspective. The Alps serve as a powerful symbol and compelling narrative, as evidenced by the numerous global trademarks that incorporate the term Alps. The figure displayed here presents the results of a trademark database search for the keywords Alpine*, Alps, and Alpine. We observe a heightened density of brand names associated with the Alps, particularly within the clothing and textile sector, while categories like carpets and yarns show a weaker connection. However, it is important to note that only a few of these companies are genuinely linked to the European Alps region or even located there. As we now have a quite good overview of what is happening in the textile sector globally, let's zoom into the Alps. In this part of the video, current developments, but also spatial concentrations will be highlighted. This map shows the Alpine Space Program area encompassing its 42 regions. National boundaries are highlighted by a white signature, which emphasizes the challenges of data harmonization in this context. Some countries, like Austria and Switzerland, are fully engaged in the program area, while others, such as Germany and Italy, are only partially involved. The map presents the number of textile enterprises per 100,000 inhabitants, utilizing data from the Dun & Bradstreet database, classified under NACE. The statistical classification of economic activities in the European Community, specifically focusing on subgroup C13, which pertains to the manufacture of textiles. As we analyze the map, you'll observe a significant concentration of textile companies across all Italian regions within the outlined perimeter. Additionally, areas such as eastern Switzerland, Vorarlberg, and northern Bavaria exhibit higher densities of textile enterprises. These patterns can be attributed to a long-standing tradition and established path dependencies in textile production in these regions, reflecting the rich cultural heritage of the Alps. If you wish to learn more about this topic, please refer to Section 1 on the textile history of the Alps. Understanding these textile routes is crucial for comprehending the relationship between historical practices and the current industry landscape in the Alpine textile sector. The second map illustrates the changes in the number of textile production enterprises between 2016 and 2020, utilizing a green and red gradient color scheme. In this representation, green indicates an increase in the number of enterprises, while red signifies a decrease. As we analyze the map, several key observations come to light. We notice positive developments in France, Austria, and parts of Bavaria, where the number of enterprises has increased. In contrast, we see a decline in textile enterprises across various regions in Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and Slovenia. This contrasting trend can be attributed to the significant drop height for regions that were previously active, as highlighted in the previous map discussing the concentration of enterprises. Visualizing these changes is crucial for understanding the evolving landscape of the textile production industry and the factors influencing these regional disparities. The third map depicts the number of clothing enterprises per 100,000 inhabitants, but this time referencing subgroup C14 of the NACE classification. This map highlights the situation in the clothing industry within the Alpine region, revealing a clearly centralized industry characterized by a high concentration of companies, particularly in northern Italy. The northern Italian region stands out due to the presence of numerous global players in the apparel sector, in particular fashion companies with headquarters located here. This concentration underscores the significance of northern Italy as a hub for the clothing industry, illustrating its vital role in the broader context of the Alpine region's economic landscape. The developments regarding clothing enterprises between 2016 and 2020 reveal several notable observations. Overall, there has been growth in the number of enterprises in regions of France, Italy, and Austria, indicating a robust expansion of the clothing sector in these areas. In contrast, significant declines are observed in regions of Germany and Slovenia. Switzerland presents mixed outcomes, with decreases seen in lowland areas, while eastern and southern regions experience an increase in enterprises. The challenges facing Germany can be attributed to several factors, including a dramatic rise in energy costs, a shortage of skilled workers, and a lack of planning security. These issues have collectively affected the viability of clothing enterprises in the region. After some quantitative statistics, let's have a look at the institutional setting of the textile sector. This mapping shows the relevant actors along the textile value chain, highlighting the various stages involved. The map covers the production stage, which refers to farming, the processing stage, involving the production of yarns and fabrics, and the manufacturing stage, which pertains to the creation of the final textile products. Importantly, this mapping differentiates spatial levels, ranging from local to global scales. Key observations from the mapping indicate the presence of an Alpine gap in the relevant actors within the textile production and manufacturing sectors. The institutional framework plays a crucial role by influencing textile production through standards, certifications, and subsidies. Additionally, associations and networks are vital for developing marketing and campaigning strategies while valorizing regionally produced fibers and final products. Regional and national network hubs emerge as crucial connectors, linking local initiatives with global players, such as Swiss wool and Tyrol wool, and supporting bottom-up initiatives like Lockwool. If you want to learn more, have a look at the case study on network hubs in this section. This comprehensive mapping illustrates the interconnectedness of various actors and the importance of collaboration within the textile value chain. The second mapping illustrates the labels and certifications within the Alpine textile sector across various stages of the value chain. This mapping once again reveals an Alpine gap in the representation of relevant actors, reinforcing findings from previous analyses of textile institutions. As noted earlier in this video, a significant number of brands incorporate the term Alps into their trademarks, which raises concerns about Alpine washing, a marketing strategy that may not accurately reflect the actual production locations. This situation creates global-local differences. While many global labels enjoy widespread recognition, regional and national labels typically cater to smaller niche markets, operating relatively independently of the larger global landscape. Moreover, the mapping differentiates between labels and certifications at the global level, which focus on specific products or fibers, such as wool or cotton, to ensure transparency and quality throughout complex production chains. In contrast, regional labels emphasize geographic origin and cultural heritage, with examples like Swiss wool and Chinga. This emphasis on local characteristics enhances quality and adds regional value, showcasing the unique attributes of the Alpine textile sector. Our exploration of the Alpine textile sector has unveiled several key findings to summarize. Firstly, the strength of the textile sector is particularly apparent in northern Italy and regions of Switzerland, Austria, and northern Bavaria, driven by a robust clothing industry and ongoing innovation in technical textiles. However, companies within the region encounter significant complexities and regulatory challenges, navigating a landscape rife with numerous regulations across various textile segments. Additionally, while the term Alps is often used for marketing purposes, there is a notable lack of institutional recognition and relevant certifications. Looking ahead, there are clear opportunities for improvement. Establishing a Made in the Alps marketing strategy could strengthen the region's identity, while enhancing regional networks will empower local businesses with greater negotiating power. Furthermore, simplifying regulations to ensure equal market access can enhance competitiveness and raise consumer awareness of the rich cultural heritage the Alpine region offers. By implementing these strategies, the Alpine textile sector can thrive and continue to make unique contributions to the global market. If you want to deepen your understanding of this subject, consider exploring the report titled Mapping Alpine Textiles. It provides valuable insights and detailed information that can expand your knowledge of the unique textile practices and cultural significance within the Alpine region. This resource is an excellent starting point for anyone interested in this fascinating topic.